WPTV.
Welcome back to the desk. It's officially the MLB offseason. Here to break down everything in the world of MLB after the World Series is over. We have Anthony, Joe, Tyler, and Antonio. Joe, you correctly predicted in 6 games the Astros got the job done and won the World Series yet again. Take us through the series.
Yeah, man, Astros and City, I did get that right. I do deserve free Belmont, by the way. But anyway, we took a look at the stats right here between the Astros and the Phillies. By the way, great series between both teams. Obviously, Houston won in 6 games, 4-2. Runs, 22 runs were produced by the Houston Astros. OPS, 670 for the Houston. And home runs, even though the Phillies had 8 home runs, you know, that big game 4 that Houston had were able to shut them down. The combined no-hitter that really, hurt the Phillies a lot. And the ERA was a 2.83. And give a lot of credit to that whole pitch staff right there for the Astros. Mystic
Monroig definitely got that one right. What is your key to the reason for why the Astros got the job done?
Yeah, listen, this Astros team, as much complete that they are, my favorite thing was really the bullpen. And that goes back to game 4, really the combined no-hitter after a great start by Christian Javier. Listen, you take a look at their whips. Bryan and Birritteri, 0.71. Rafael Montero, which is 1.18. Ryan Presley, 0.64. Hector Neris, 0.33. That bullpen was one of the huge stepping stones in shutting down that Phillies lineup that has Schwarber, that has Hoskins, that has Castellanos, and a real Muto, and Harper. All right, they did a great job shutting that dangerous lineup down. That was hot this whole entire playoff.
Yeah, Dusty Baker definitely has a lot of great options in the back end of that bullpen. Antonio, I know this hurt your heart a little bit, but why did the Astros win?
Starting pitching. Valdez, they were down 1-0 when he had to pitch a critical game 2, and he shut them down. He shut them down again game 6. He should have been the MVP this year for the World Series. Verlander finally getting his first win. Javier throwing the no-hitter in a big game 4. And honestly, Phillies aces didn't pitch good. Nola pitched bad, 2 bad games, and same with Wheeler. You can't win if your starters aren't pitching good.
Framber Valdez, every series, Mariners, Yankees, Phillies, really stepped it up for the Astros. Anthony, why did the Astros take home a W?
So when you go down 2-1 in a series, in a best of 4, it's hard to come back from that. And give credit where credit's due. The Astros kept their composure. They were able to come back. They win Game 4 because of the no-hitter. They win Game 5 relatively easily, in a close one, but still easily for them nonetheless. And they win Game 6 pretty easily. They kept their cool. They stayed calm. They fell behind 2-1. They didn't panic. They showed their postseason experience, and they got the job done the next 3 games.
Tyler, what'd you say?
I saw the play of the rookie Jeremy Pena. He was just sensational all series long. He went 10 for 25 and batted 400. And, he had a big game 6, went 2 for 4 with 2 big singles, and he had a hit in every single game of this World Series. So I think that, he's the biggest reason why the Astros won the World Series.
The Astros, Carlos Correa moved on, just, plug and replace. Jeremy Pena really stepped up for Houston. Tyler, I'll keep it with you. Aaron Judge, going in the MLB offseason now, guys like Aaron Judge command a big payday. They're going to get all the talk. But who's your guy more under the radar that's going to get a big wad of cash?
I'm going to go with Brandon Nimmo from the Mets because if you take a look at his stats here, he has 64 RBIs, an average of 274, an OPS of 367, and an OPS of 800. He had a career year with the Mets, and I feel like that, I think he'll get paid a lot, whether it's for, going to another team like the Rockies or re-signing with the Mets.
He definitely earned a big payday this offseason. Anthony, who you got?
We don't want to talk about, Jacob deGrom on the free agency pitching market. Let's talk about my guy Carlos Rodon, who had a great year out by the Bay Area. He absolutely killed it. Win-loss record of 14-8. An ERA of 2.88, 178 innings pitched, 237 strikeouts, and a 1.03 whip. He was dominant all year, and he's really grown a lot as a pitcher over the past couple of years with the White Sox, now with the Giants. He opted out of his deal. He's going to be looking for a big, big payday this offseason.
A pitcher's dream has got to be pitching in San Francisco. Obviously, a very pitcher-friendly ballpark. Antonio, who is your free agent that you got your eye on?
I'm going to take the second biggest free agent out there, Trey Turner. He is only 29 years old. He was hit 300 last year, 21 home runs, and 100 RBIs last year and 27 stolen bases. He's going to get a big payday. My prediction, I think he goes to the Phillies. He already said he wants to play for an East Coast team, and they let Segura go.
Joe, I'll throw this over to you. Who is your free agent you got your eye on?
Yeah, it must be very disappointed to be a Twins fan, but we talk about a guy like Carlos Correa who's in the free agent market as well. This guy's looking for $8 years, $265 million. He's 28 years old right now. He's got 291 batting average, which ranked 21st in the league. 22 home runs, on-base percentage is 366. His OPS is 833. Listen, this guy is a stud player, all right, but I think the contract that he's probably looking for, it's probably going to be a little bit, probably too much. Maybe teams might not want to pay him that much, but he's still a great overall shortstop and very talented player overall.
Yeah, we'll take some over to another big time, not free agent this year, but next year. Shohei Ohtani, one of the faces of baseball, kind of almost taking over the reins of face of the Angels. Antonio, do you think some trade rumors, he might be a free agent next year? Where do you see Ohtani winding up?
I think he's staying with the Angels. He can't leave. If you let that guy go, you're just not going to win. They're not winning now. He's like our moderation of Babe Ruth. You cannot let a guy like him leave your team. It would be awful.
I'm going with, I think that Shohei will go to the Mariners because, the Mariners are, an upcoming team. They've won and just take their culture and organizations different. They had a player like Ichiro Suzuki who was from Japan, and Shohei, we all know he's from Japan too. So I feel like he'll fit in that organization, and I feel like it would be a nice home for Shohei if he goes to the Mariners.
That would be definitely very interesting staying in that division. Joe, where would you like to see Shohei go?
From one LA team to another LA team, how about the Los Angeles Dodgers? Listen, the Dodgers team obviously is known to really get guys, really, purchase these big-time free agent guys in trades. But, they actually made talks earlier in the season, but talks obviously stalled. The general manager of the Angels obviously didn't want to trade Ohtani, but if the Dodgers are going to really want to pull this off, they're going to have to give away guys like Bobby Miller, Miguel Vargas, and also Ryan Pepiot. But other than that, I think the Dodgers have a legitimate shot to bring over a dual-threat guy like Ohtani to finally win another World Series.
Yeah, Anthony, look in your crystal ball for a second. Where do you think Ohtani is going to go?
Steve Cohen got knocked out in the wild card round, and he is not happy, folks. I would not be shocked if he goes to the New York Mets this offseason. I know GM Perry Manassian said that they're not going to trade Shohei Ohtani this offseason. I don't buy that for a second. The Angels know where they are. They know they're not that good. They can rebuild, get a horde of prospects back to build around Mike Trout. I could really see him going to the Mets. I don't know who would be involved in that deal. Probably Brett Beatty, maybe a Diego, not Diego Cartaya. Who's the Kevin Parada, the catcher? I could see another, maybe Francisco Alvarez. I could see some prospects being involved in that deal. But the Mets can get it done if they want to.
Washington said the same thing. Remember that? Washington also said they weren't going to trade Soto at the trade deadline. Look what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I do not buy it for a set. I think he's very much on the move.
One person that I personally hope, and a lot of us have our eye on, and I hope he's not on the move, is Aaron Judge. We talked a little about him before I mentioned him. Anthony, I'll keep it with you. Do you think Judge leaves the Yankees? It would be hard to imagine, but it is possible.
So I think it's definitely possible. Ultimately, I'm going to go with no. I think he stays with the Yankees, but I do think it's possible. But ultimately, Judge has been here for the past since 2013. For the past 10 years, he's been in the Yankee organization. Yankees know they have to keep him. The Yankees say what they want, say what you want as a fan, say they're cheap, say they don't care about winning, whatever. They're not stupid. They're not going to let their franchise player walk. He's definitely coming back. I think the Yankees will go all out to keep him here. And if they don't, I think they'll go all out to spend and get another big free agent. But ultimately, I don't see Judge leaving.
The best bet on yourself, maybe ever in baseball. Joe, do you think he stays in the Bronx?
I don't think so. Let's head over to the Bay. San Francisco Giants are a team that's really favored to really get Judge. I mean, think about this. His family is 1 hour away. They live in Linden, 1 hour away from San Fran. The Giants are also they're in a major transitional period where they have a huge flexibility in the payroll. The last time they had that type of flexibility was when Posey was playing. The Giants are also looking to restart to really bring back a championship era. And what better way to do it is to sign Judge? And after that, supplement in the free agency and keep building off the free agency.
Yeah, definitely be an immediate face of their franchise. The Giants said they would not be outbid. That's a big statement to come out with.
They're willing to go on, Jimmy, and they said it too. Sources say that they're willing to go on whatever it takes to get Judge.
Yeah, hopefully not too much. Hal Steinbrenner's gonna have his hands full. Tyler, where do you think Judge is gonna go?
I think he's going crosstown to Queens, and I think that he'll go there because he'll provide a nice addition to the outfield and share the outfield with Marte, and especially if Nimmo leaves, I think that will open up space for Steve Cohen to go after the superstar and get Judge, and he'll just be an overall a good addition for the New York Mets.
I can only imagine the reaction of our friend to your left. What would happen if
Tyler,
Judge went to the Mets?
I didn't want to do this to you, but Steinbrenner will never let that happen, and if he does, he will lose his whole fan base because you cannot lose Judge to your rival, the Mets. That's just awful. Yankees haven't won in 13 years. He's honestly the only next captain we have, and you're going to lose that whole fan base. For example, my little brother loves Judge. If he leaves, he's not going to watch him. Judge is his player. You cannot lose Judge. You lose Judge, I can't watch games unless you get I don't even know who you can get to replace him.
What's your brother's name?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, well, we hope to make Jeffrey happy, and we hope we made you happy here on WP Sports Desk. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at SportsDeskWP for updates and more. Join us next week. We're going to throw things back over to the NFL and the NBA and keep things going with Pioneer Hoops. For all that and more from WP Sports Desk, and a special thank you to the cast and crew and the tall man, Al Clarke. I'm Jimmy Patton, and we'll see you next week.